All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me today. We are feeding hay out on the pasture. We're trying to figure this grazing thing out. Had we had normal rain, this would be a 100% different story. Had we had normal rain, this field would have been first crop hay. They would be grazing. They would have a mountain of grazing time behind first cutting, and we would have managed the other field completely different. But with a drought like this, what do? We're just trying to do the best we can to keep these cows fed for the summer. There's a lot of feed out here, and that's why we're bringing the bales out now. So I got a 4x6 stretched all the way down there, and another one from here to just by the Massey. That one didn't unroll that well. I got a little silly. I unroll it because I want to save the pasture as best we can. So I don't want a round bale where they're all just going to trample and kill that spot. And we're also feeding now because I don't want to overgraze this too much. There's a lot of feed here. We're going to make them clean this up. We're going to push them a little bit to make them clean this up. We got a couple baleage bales back here I unrolled. You can see down the hill. Make them clean this up. And at the same time, they can go out here and continue grazing. But I don't want to just completely chew the pasture down to dirt. Hey, Seven, how are you? Good morning. Yeah. And so we're just, yeah. We're just trying to figure this out. Yeah. Like I said, had we had rain, we would have been actual managers. Our stocking rate is kind of low. We run we have a little more acres than we need, quote unquote. And that's okay, because on a year like this, it allows us to get by fairly good. If we have to just feed a bale or two a week or whatever, to get through the next couple weeks, if we burn up 10 bales or something, like, that's fine. That's fine. Growing down there, there's a hot wire just south of the baleage bales and runs over by them tires, right by the stock tank. And so south of that, it is regrowing. But there's, the first pasture, they've been out here for what, 3 weeks now, and the first pasture has regrown enough for like 2 days. I think if we moved them over there, you would get 2 days of grazing, and then they would be standing at the gate bawling again. Just like they were out here this morning. They met the wife at the gate and they were bawling, and normally the herd's pretty quiet. They're very good at telling us what they need and if something's wrong. And so we're going to start supplementing a little feed to help the pasture out as much as possible. Still haven't had any. We've had that one real inch since May 1st. A few hundredths last night. That the plants might soak up that whole couple hundredths. The plants might do a fantastic job of breathing all that moisture in, but when you look at the 15-day forecast, you're like, it is not looking pretty. It is not looking pretty at all. So on that note, I'll keep you guys posted. We'll get it figured out. There is a lot of feed here, and they'll pick away at it, but I want them to be gentle doing it. You can see the growth coming. There's new growth coming down there, and every cow pie is just full. Look at the clover, just full of clover seeds. So that's pretty awesome. The system's working even in a severe drought like this. It's kind of one of them things that you just kind of adapt. We're just trying to figure out how to adapt and move to keep moving forward with the cows. This winter we are going to figure out some small portable shades and a portable water trough. I think I like the design. The wife found a guy on YouTube that had a good design for cattle shades, but we'll talk about that. Well, we can talk. We have a 20 by 40 tarp, and that's what that first Cowbrella was made out of. But 20 by 40, I did not realize the amount of load that wind would put on a flat, perforated cow shade material, and it just tore that to heck. So you're like, oh my gosh. And so we're thinking, we were trying to figure out, like, how can we engineer another canopy for 20 by 40, but I mean, you're talking some structure. You're talking some structure to handle 20 by 40 with some winds. So I think we're thinking what we might do is make some, we got a bunch of 12 by 20 tarps. And so if a guy makes 3 or 4, well, we have 6 tarps. So if a guy made 6 12 by 20 little trailer frames, and you just hook them together like a train and then just pull them with the ATV. We made the pull sled for mineral and apple cider vinegar, and then so then this winter I just want to weld up a long, like a 20-foot or 24-foot long trough, water trough on wheels. So then you just pull, so you got a lot of water. So when the whole herd comes up to drink, you can get a lot of bodies at the water trough, so there's less pushing and shoving, and you have a lot of water there, so people are drinking without waiting on the floats to refill it. And then if it's that long, you can have 2, 3, 4, 5 floats all going to help refill it as quick as possible. Apple cider vinegar, maybe we could do an update now. I don't know. I think with the apple cider vinegar, I have no science to prove this, but they are slick. These cows are slick and shiny. Big number 11 the other day was even the calves. Even the calves are just slick. Health, I mean, health seems to be just fine, but their coats on them are just slick. The neighbor, Jeremy, he's got some really good quality mineral he's ran over a few years, and his cows are just slick too, where we're running just your cheap off-the-shelf mineral from the co-op. A few of them got some hair to lose, but 14 has always been this way. She's always been really late to lose her winter coat. But number 11, I mean, you got 11, this one with a little bit of chrome on her. She's ready for the county fair, just standing out here on the pasture. Yeah, I think there's something to it. I don't, like I said, we didn't take half the herd and not let them have any so you could see a difference in hides, but I think there's something to it. What? I don't know. Find out. But the nice thing is we're not using, we eliminated some chemicals going through the cows, and that was the whole goal. We'll see in a few years if we're able to maintain that. We still are going to be vaccinating. But all right, that's enough yammer. Let's get back to work. I gotta get back to the shop.